got doors which open on both sides, but temporarily, like during the Barking Riverside's opening, there wasn't like many step-free access. Yeah, and so, okay, we'll wait for this door to close. Yeah, both doors are closing. And the reason why this platform of Barking has Spanish solution boarding in the first place was to allow for cross-platform interchange with the London Overground, but with the extension to Barking Riverside opening in July 2022, during that massive heat wave, that platform there is now deactivated out of use, and all Overground trains are now using platforms 7 and 8, which are also used by C2C services to Grays and Tilbury. And yeah, platform 1 can still be used in case of disruptions. But I actually have a rather ambitious plan. So, like, lately I've been talking about a Hammersmith and City Line extension since the Hammersmith and City Line terminates here. But, like, this is a rather ambitious plan. So, with the DLR extending to Thamesmead, then Beckton would sit alone with no purpose, so Beckton could...
Smoking is not allowed anywhere at this station or on trains. This includes e-cigarettes.
So, like, to actually make Beckton actually useful, why don't we extend the Hammersmith and City Line from here, where it currently terminates at Barking, to Beckton, which stops at Greatfields Park and Town Central. So, yeah, that could be a rather ambitious one, but that proposal could actually be quite dangerous because it has to meander through several areas, both below and above ground. And there is that bay platform which is used by district lines, and actually before, Hammersmith and City lines actually used to terminate on that platform. But with the introduction of the S-Stocks, which actually there's one coming right now, that's like really only used by district line services needing to use Wimbledon as a terminus. And we've got another district lines for Upminster, as well as one leaving for central London. That's for embankment because of engineering work. And this underpass here leads to platforms 2 and 8, and it's on the western side of the station. And it's known as a rather boring underpass, and the labyrinth is actually in here, number 84 out of 270. Now we're on platform 7 and 8. Platform 6, which is that one there, is for all westbound district and Hammersmith City trains.
Platform 8 from the 1328 C2C service to London Fenchurch Street. Call it West Ham, Limehouse and London Fenchurch Street. This train is formed of 8 coaches. Change at West Ham for services to West Ham United and Stratford. Change at Limehouse for services to Canary Wharf.
And here's our train.
And Lewisham. Change at London Fenchurch Street for the Tower of London and London Underground connections from Tower Hill.
And there's a C2C train on the other platform.
Platform 7
and here's this is our train.
27 London Overground service to Barking Riverside. Call it Barking Riverside only.
And I will actually time the journey, because on the timetable it says it takes 7 minutes, but I'm not sure, so I want to time it.
Barking. This is the train to Barking Riverside.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just gonna start it. Now, a little bit later than usual. It's because of some setting issue, but yeah, we're starting off.
This is the train to Barking Riverside.
I'll take over.
Next station, Barking Riverside.
Yeah, we're on board one of the new Class 710 Adventures. I love these trains. And here's where we deviate away from the district line and the main C2C line, and they head towards Upminster that way. Now on the timetable it says it takes 7 minutes to ride between Barking and Barking Riverside, but I think it takes like more than 5.5 minutes, but I'm actually timing the journey. Here's the status updates they show, and actually this line, which is like the Goblin, or really Suffragette, I hate that name, is actually coming to Train Simwell 4 by Dovetail Games, and I think you should buy it. I'm pretty sure it's a nice route to drive on, even if it is a linear route with no branch lines. And we're currently running on the C2C line, which heads towards Tilbury and Southend, as well as Grays. And here is where we deviate off of the C2C line. And we'll start to head onto a viaduct. It's still running. DB Schenker Class 66 there. And here is the site of a possible new station known as Renwick Road. God, that's a mouthful. Renwick Road. But I'll just call it as Castle Green, since that is the other name of this new station, which is currently safeguarded. And now we'll ride on these new tracks. We'll go above the C2C lines on a new, as well as this freight terminal on a brand new viaduct. And Barking Riverside is on an elevated guideway above the new town of Barking Riverside itself. And there's the line towards Dagenham Dock, and that C2C line goes parallel with HS1 until like Purfleet or somewhere. And yeah, Barking Riverside is a new town which will house about 10,000 homes. And as part of the scheme, a new London Overground extension was built here. And I'll explain that. We've got some more brownfield wasteland here. And the timer is still running. And you can see the Canary Wharf in the distance, as well as central London. There's Canary Wharf. And, behind this electricity tower and that windmill is the City of London. Over there is Barking Riverside Station itself. We're approaching 4 minutes and then it'll come into 5. Wow, you've got the River Thames there. Love that. Welcome to Barking Riverside. Coming up to about 5 minutes. So when I do, I'll stop my stopwatch. So my stopwatch timer took about 5 minutes and 3 seconds. And by the way, welcome to London Overground's newest station, Barking Riverside.
This is a security message. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sorted. 24-hour CCTV recording is in operation at this station for the purpose of security and safety management.
So welcome to London Overground's newest station, Barking Riverside. And this is the new terminus of the suffragette line, or really the Goblin. And the station opened on the 18th of July 2022. And it is elevated above this brownfield land, which will be Barking Riverside in the future. And you got the East London Transit bus service arriving in. And it connects commuters to other parts of this area. And in the distance, in the background, is the River Thames. And that area is a massive harbour where a few ships can come in and unload their goods, but really Folkestone is the primary harbour of the UK. And across the river is Thamesmead, which is actually the largest area in London not served by a railway line. Yeah, I just hate the name Suffragette. It should be the Goblin, not Suffragette. Come on, TfL. Mayor? Anyways, so actually this was not intended to be the first station on this site in a proposal, because like back in 2003, an extension of the DLR was proposed from Galleon's Reach, which would call at Beckton Riverside, Creekmouth, Barking Riverside, Dagenham Vale, which was later changed to be Goresbrook in the proposal, and then terminate at Dock, where it would connect with the C2C network. But it was cancelled in 2008 for no reason. And we got this station anyway in 2022 as part of the London Overground's Goblin or Suffragette line. The Goblin. And I think this is actually like London's windiest station ever, because like you got like windbacks blowing in the breeze, and because it's elevated and you actually have more wind rushing through, and because it's near the Thames, which is a body of water or river, like you get more wind, even stronger winds coming from the ocean or the North Sea. Like, I think this is London's windiest station. Don't you? And there are plans, or really were plans, to extend the London Overground's Goblin again, all the way over to Thamesmead and Abbey Wood, to connect up with the Elizabeth line and actually connect Thamesmead with a rail link. But a DLR extension is being planned there instead. But I think the concept of that is a rather poor one, which I'll explain in another video. See that train coming in, I think, and it'll go around that curve on that bridge and we'll enter the station.
The next train to be marked on 72 will be 1348 London Overground service to Gosford. Toilet parking, Woodbridge Park, Woodbridge Park,
And here's the train coming.
Please do not obstruct birds, using your hands or other objects. This may delay the train or force injury to yourself or others.
And the view out this side of the station is less interesting, but I do like that you can actually see Canary Wharf in the distance. That's very nice. And anyway, this train is leaving for Gospel Oak.
Later this year, we'll be naming the London Overground that serves this station, the Suffragette line, search until the London Overground line and into Whitehall.
And we'll go around the curve and we'll re-emerge, but I don't think I can get that now. Maybe I can. Man, it's so windy here. There it is. Seat.
On 610.
And here at Barking Riverside, you got a small waiting shelter, and that heads down to the emergency exit.
CCTV recording is in operation at this station for the purpose of security and safety management.
Yeah, and the station even connects down to the riverboat pier, which is all the way down there, and it has RB1 ferry boat services over to Westminster. And like the fastest way, like you could actually take the Overground, head to Barking and just take the District line into central London, or you could head to like Forest Gate, get the Purple train, or you could head to Blackhall Road and get the Victoria line into central London, or how about this? You could actually head down to the new riverboat pier, take RB1 down towards Woolwich Pier, and actually get on the Elizabeth line there instead. That could be something very fun. Yeah, and trains on the Goblin are every 15 minutes, including a Sunday. Yeah, and 2 new 710 trains were actually ordered for this extension. And the view out here is amazing, but rather boring, but I quite like this view. You got buildings, new apartment blocks, windmills, industrial areas, the River Thames, a ship, and even you got Thamesmead and Abbey Wood in the distance, as well as more of southeast London. And it seems unlikely that the Overground will ever extend down to Thamesmead because of the DLR extension, which I think is a poor one, if you ask me. A really poor concept. I guess we'll head downstairs now, and got massive bin bags blowing in the breeze. This is such a windy station. I would even consider it as London's windiest station by far. And of course there are lifts here, because this is a modern station and the modern safety requirements require you to have lift at a new station. Yeah. And if the Overground were to ever extend to Thamesmead, which I would deem that as unlikely, the walls like over there would have to be knocked down to allow for like new tracks.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We have sorted. See it, say it, sorted. 24-hour CCTV recording is in operation at this station for the purpose of security and safety management.
Yeah, and would make the station feel like a monorail station, if you ask me. Oh, it's like the worst local transport. Anyways, but monorails like have like a small linear track, whereas big trains have rails. And you can even go to this part of the platform, but only if you need to access the lift. And you can get a feeling of what the Overground would be like if it was ever extended over the river. And that heads towards the North Sea, the River Thames. Right. So we'll head downstairs. 52 steps from platform to ticket hall. And you get a really impressive shot here. And 4 bits of the staircase. And the 2 lifts in the middle. Now I want to try out the lift. And it's coming down. Like, you have like 2 separate buttons which control 2 lifts. Or a singular lift. And make a new beep noise. Not the same type of arrangement as what you see at Thanet Parkway and Brent Cross West, but I like that you do have a doors close button. The inclusion is good. Back up at platform level again. And you can have some priority seats here for mobility impaired passengers who want to wait for the lift, which we're going to go down now. Using this lift again. So I want to go back by using the river, not the station, sadly. So So there are 2 bin bags here, which are not blowing in the breeze, sadly. And here's the gate line in the middle. There are 2 entrances, one on each side of the gate line. And you got this way, which heads to River Road, and you got this way, which heads to Station Square, as well as the Barking Riverside Pier. And let me show you this map here, as well as the timetable. Here's the map of the Gospel Road Barking line. The Barking, as usual, for National Rail District and Hammersmith City line, Woodgrange Park, Monster Park. Where's the connection for the purple train? At the TfL. But Leytonstone High Road, which I think has an outer station interchange to the Central line at Leytonstone, but I'm not sure. And these Victoria line interchanges, so you got Walthamstow Queens Road for Victoria, Blackhorse Road, which does have a Victoria connection on the map, South Tottenham, which has an Riverside to Seven Sisters, which is also a Victoria line connection, as well as a Lee Valley line connection. So we've got Harringay Green Lanes, Crouch Hill, Upper Holloway, and Gospel Oak. Harringay Green Lanes. Add a Piccadilly connection as well. And Upper Holloway, a Northern line connection too. So many potentials with this bland and dull map. And the timetable is every 15 minutes, including a Sunday. Not you exclusive overground styled ticket machines. And we cross the road somehow. And here's the station of Barking Riverside. It's a very nice station. And oh my god, you can actually hear the announcements from ground level. There's a train coming in. And as a train arrives, a train would leave the station. The train goes around the sharp curve on the viaduct, and then merges with the CTC lines on ground level, and then runs parallel with it until Barking. Here's the Barking Riverside station from the ground. It's pretty nice, if you ask me. And there are potentials, because like the development is still ongoing and it will be finished in a few years. And I think the overground tunnel is just far too small to classify that this is a railway station. But there is the elevated guideway which heads into the platforms. Right, so this is what the new Barking Riverside development will encompass. So it'll be brand new overground station, community-led infrastructure, direct river access, network of footpaths and cycleways, and 21 hectares of open space and sports pitches. And so you can easily contrast Barking Riverside with Thamesmead, exactly opposite of this Barking Riverside town. And Thamesmead was only built as a settlement for car travel or residential capacity. And if you contrast this with Barking Riverside, it was built and then they needed a rail connection here. And this way is for Station Square and Barking Riverside's pier. And actually, in here, what really unusual is a cycle parking. And why do they have turnstile gates over there in the middle? And here, this is the cycle gate, or cycle parking. And why the hell do they have turnstiles here? Makes us feel like a Paris metro station or a New York subway station, rather than a London Underground or London Overground station, if you ask me. And these doors here lead into Barking Riverside Station. Oh my God. Wait, why? Oh, wait, that's locked. And you got modern signs here for Barking Riverside Pier. And you got electronic screens, even showing the map of the Goblin, and the nearest service patterns of any tube or overground line, as well as an electronic map of the riverboat services. This is extremely sophisticated. And they even show some advertisements like this one, which is Barking Riverside Wildlife and Wellbeing Trail. And here's the other side of Barking Riverside Station, from the station square or forecourt, and basically the same. And here's the actual station square itself. It's pretty nice. And we'll head over to the front and then down towards the riverboats. And anyway, speaking of other transport, we have an East London bus service for Barking Riverside. It actually terminates here and then goes back. And in this visitor information office, there's actually a 3D scale map of Barking Riverside's area. And if I just... okay, there you go, that's a better view. So you can see that curvy thing is the railway line and it terminates, and then there is the buildings which actually obliterate any possibility of an extension down towards Thamesmead or Abbey Wood. So these are the opening times if you want to visit this information office. So it's from Tuesday to Friday, so 10 AM to 12 PM, closed between 12 PM and 1 PM for a lunch break, and then it's 1 PM to 3 PM. So it's basically 10 to 3 PM with a lunch break in between. Why isn't this visitor center open on a weekend? That's just lazy. So here's the front facade of Barking Riverside, and if the overground was to ever extend to Thamesmead without these buildings which are going to be built in the way, then the walls on the left and the right would have to be knocked down for a new set of tracks and columns to support a rail bridge. But a DLR extension down towards Thamesmead is a rather poor concept if you ask me. And then down by this bit of parkland, and here's the EL1 bus service again. So now I'll show you how to walk from Barking Riverside Station over to the river pier. So here is the station, the railway station, and then off screen now you have to walk down this way, down towards the riverboat station. So here's another map of the riverboat. So it's a half-hourly service from Barking Riverside all the way to Westminster, and even all the way to Battersea Power Station. And actually, the riverboat pier was built on one of the original docks that used to occupy this site. I knew there's a storm coming. Might need to go quickly. And now we enter River Approach, which is right here. Let's put my hood on. Okay, so here's another map. So we came from here at the Station Gardens, and we walked along River Approach, and I think we're here now. And we're gonna like walk along the jetty over to the riverboats here. See if there are any boats due. Here's the timetable. So it's every half an hour westbound and weekend. So RB1. So they're every half an hour. I see some more brownfield land. And it makes sense that the area is windy as we're near a river. In this case being the Thames. I guess we shall head down to Woolwich now. Now, we're going to walk along a part of the original dock, which is here. It actually extends further down to a new pier, which is where the riverboat actually starts. And you can also use Oyster or contactless to ride the riverboat, as it is a TfL managed service, but run by Uber. Here's the bridge down to the river pier. And we're now walking along the bridge down towards the river pier. I'm not sure when the next boat is though. I'll have a look. Now we're on the waiting platform. We're in the East River Zone, so you have to only touch it when you're asked to do so when the boat arrives. And the information screen is not actually used at the moment. And we'll wait soon. Okay, so there is the riverboat coming in. I'm going to get it over to Woolwich. And these should be branded as TfL's riverboats or Thames Clipper. This recorder here. Oh, here. Oh my god. Yeah, and you notice that the pier can wobble sometimes in the wind. And that's why it requires maintenance to keep it afloat. Otherwise it might sink. This is the Cyclone Clipper set. And there are entrances on two sides. You notice that the lifeguard is going to attach a rope into one of the points here, the bits here. It requires several tries, but this will attach the boat over to the pier itself. And he needs to pull it several times in order to keep the boat still. And then he will put a ramp here to allow passengers to disembark. You can touch your Oyster card on these readers here. These should be the primary validators, not some like square validators, these round ones. Yeah. Then they can open the gates. Right. Now boarding this Uber boat, or Thames Clipper. I guess I'll leave this seat. I think. And here's the river pier. And you can use Oyster cards on board. I think they made that valid in, I think, 2014 or something.
Yeah.
I think they could make this part of the TfL's transport network, like how Sydney has with its ferry network. So this is the interior of the Thames Clipper. Pretty nice, I think. Right, we're now leaving. You notice that the guard has just removed or lifeguard has removed the ropes from those pillars. And that gives the boat enough ability to move under kinetic energy. And now we're already leaving. And you can see Barking Riverside Station in the distance. I love that so much. In the distance is the town of Woolwich, the suburb of Woolwich. I'm going to disembark the boat here and I'm going to end the video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.
Now we're approaching Woolwich Royal Arsenal exit at the front of the boat. Once again, we are approaching Woolwich Royal Arsenal exit at the front of the boat.
Passengers will exit at the front of the boat.
January 19th. Thank you.
Bye.